I rode the Maeving RM1S in the LA area a couple of months ago, and I'm just getting around to telling you about it. And after going through and reviewing the footage, I decided to make this video a little bit different. Normally, I put a lot of time and effort into editing my videos, chopping things up, adding music, doing all this extra stuff. But I also have, normally, a little bit more time to go through and film what I want to film, ride where I want to ride. And this trip down to LA was quite rush. I literally barely made my flight on the way there. I had to rush from one appointment over to where Maeving was. I barely made it on time. I did a quick ride, and I really had to rush over to the airport. Afterwards, I had very, very limited time, and I tried my best to make the most of it. Thankfully, Augie, who was the representative from Maeving, was really helpful, answered all of my questions. And so instead of giving you this polished presentation, if you will, on what the Maeving is, even though it's a very polished and amazing bike, I decided I'm going to keep this video a little more raw, a little more uncut, unfiltered. There's going to be some more ums and so's and stutters that I would normally cut out, but I want you to experience this bike the way I did for the first time. So here it is, my first ride, my first experience seeing the Maeving RM1S.
Accessing the batteries.
Yeah, the battery.
On this side, and so basically you turn it off.
Okay.
And there's a little countdown that's going to start, and you have to long press this button within the countdown.
Oh, okay.
So
it's like a security thing.
So open, press.
Oh, you got 5 seconds. Oh, and then it
go.
Unlocks.
Exactly.
So then this is on a hinge. Oh, that's nice. This is like, what is this made out of?
Aluminum.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an expensive piece of aluminum right there.
Yeah. Yeah, but it works better. Like on the one, we had like a kind of a tilting piece of molded plastic that held one battery. Because on the RM1, there was like single battery here, where the compartment like folded out, tilted out, and you dropped it in, slammed it and it closed it shut, and the second battery was here in this compartment.
Oh, okay.
So
that's been changed?
No, the RM1 is still like that.
Okay.
And basically, so the RM1.
So now these are free, and I could yank it out.
Yeah, well, so
not going
on
to,
this,
but
on this, I'll show you. On this version, yes. On the, but this is one of the early builds that was
So there's some sort
here.
of lock.
The volume production models, they get locked in, and you have an unlocking system before you can pull them out.
Okay.
So those actually like slide out. You know, are at 35 pounds.
Yeah, I mean that's totally
It's
manageable.
It's
Yeah.
It's like heavy but manageable, and that's one of the big advantages of having that dual battery setup.
That you don't have one giant
You
battery.
don't have like one 4 or 5 kilowatt hour huge beast of a thing. Like
because they're either not removable or
removable, but they need bolts and. Like,
I mean, I've moved
like,
the rivet battery around, and it has wheels, and you can't really pick it up.
No, it's a beast.
It's a beast.
No.
Like, it's fine rolling it around, but if I had to go upstairs,
but even
that would be a problem.
Even the cake.
But
have you played with the cake, the Osas?
I'm familiar with them, but I haven't done anything with it.
Osa has a 3.5 kilowatt hour pack.
Okay.
And like, I can barely pick it up like solo. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I can, but like
3.5
it's like 10 meters, and then you put it down.
It's a big battery.
Yeah.
Not that this is a small battery,
no,
but it's
2.7 and it's 2,700 cells. So it's like more, like.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Now, since we're looking at the battery, this is about 5.5 kilowatt hours. That's split into those 2 modules you see there. And that's pretty good. They advertise 80 miles of range. I didn't go over this while we were chatting, so I wanted to bring this up right now. Even if you're not riding your electric bike or electric motorcycle or even driving an electric car, you are dealing with range anxiety with your cell phone. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, I had to go out on my own, spending some of my own time and money to go visit Maeving during my trip in LA. So I needed a sponsor for this video, and I have one that answers the cell phone range anxiety problem. The sponsor for today's video is FosseBot. They make cell phones. They sent me this one, and I've also been using this cell phone for about a month now. So I didn't just pull this out of the box and make a video with it. I did what I do with all of my bikes and motorcycles. I put it to the test. This is a durable, rugged phone. So there's some interesting features about this. One, you have a nice big screen on the front. And then, oddly enough, you have a small circular screen on the back as well. And if you look at the side profile, this thing looks like an absolute brick, and it is. This is both the best thing about the phone and the worst thing about the phone is the physical size. It is huge. The screen size is great. I don't mind that at all. The weight is just astronomical, but that's where the battery anxiety goes away. I thought my last phone had a massive battery at about 4,000 milliamp hours. This is a 10,600 milliamp hour battery. That's 10 amp hours in a cell phone, and it also has 18 watt fast charging. Now, those numbers might not actually mean anything to you. Let me give you a real life example of what that size of battery means. I flew to Arizona last week to do some filming. When I woke up in my hotel room the following morning at 6 a.m., I unplugged my phone. I browsed websites and watched videos while I got dressed and ready that morning, while I ate breakfast. I used my phone throughout that day. I took some filming clips with it. I took video clips with it. I was not familiar with that area, so I used the GPS and navigation, which definitely can suck down your battery. And then that evening, I had a flight home. And using the airplane's Wi-Fi, I watched a movie. So not only did I use my phone the entire day for filming, video, and GPS navigation, but I watched a full-length movie on it on the airplane ride. Then I used the phone for navigation because we had a detour on the way home and we had to take a different route. And when I went to bed that night, at midnight, I had not unpacked my charge cable from my suitcase, and I said, it doesn't matter. I don't even need to plug it in. I literally did not plug my phone in that night after heavy usage that day. Used it the entire following day, and I think the following night, I still had like 30% battery left. I don't think it's possible for me to kill this phone in a single 24-hour period. The battery life is that good. And the truth is, the last two phones I've had, I cracked either the screen. This thing looks like it has a big fat case on it. That isn't a case. That is just the phone. This truly is a rugged, durable phone. I've dropped this multiple times in the shop, and literally it just bounces and I pick it back up. Every port is completely sealed. Has some settings that I personally have never seen before. There is a glove mode, a specific underwater mode, and like I said, you have a screen on the back that can do various things. You can show the time, you can play music from there, you can record things, you can actually see your camera is facing the other direction from the back on there if you'd like. If your phone is face down on your desk, you can even see notifications that are coming in without turning the phone over. It comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of internal storage. It supports virtual memory expansion if you need more RAM, up to 24 gigabytes. There's a slot on the side here. You could put in up to a 2 terabyte micro SD card. It's got a 6.745-inch display. The rear camera is a massive 50 megapixels, 16 megapixels on the front. It's got NFC built in, Face ID, button on the side also acts as a fingerprint scanner if you like to use that. So if you want a durable, unlocked phone that can completely eliminate range anxiety, check out the FosseBot F109. They're launching at just $159.
So, interesting way to do it.
Yeah. This is Tim, who's
Hello.
one of the team members from the UK, Cal.
How are you doing?
Cal, nice to meet you. Cal is who's a fellow e-bike professional. He has an e-bike brand out of Northern California.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
which one is that?
It's called Area 13.
Area 13.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah, I know. So, but yeah, I'm down here for the day, so I was looking at where else can I go today while I got some free time, and I was like, oh, it's only like an hour over here. I got to check this thing out in person and try it out.
Did you check out Old Soren? Did you meet? Did you talk to Old Soren?
No.
Next time you're in SoCal, there
Okay.
are also like Kenny. He just started the brand.
Okay.
Not long ago, kind of like similar old school style.
Yeah. Where are they located?
They're in like Torrance.
Okay.
But they're like smaller, like they're not volume production.
Yeah,
and,
I think I've seen the brand
as
well.
They're kind of like the Beachman bikes.
Right.
Kind of like similar. They probably
Very similar
have
to
similar providers.
Okay.
Because they look really
very similar.
Yeah.
Unusually similar.
Nah, listen. There's
hey, I make e-bikes for a living. There's so many bikes that are from same factory or not the same factory, but the factory that made this frame, made that frame, made this battery, made that battery, and you pick and choose the parts you want.
Yeah.
And so that's
how
kind of how it
works.
goes most of the time. But this doesn't look like anything else.
I'm glad you agree. That's what we think.
So.
Yeah. I mean, there isn't many. There aren't many things that are the equivalent, really.
No. It's a really interesting approach.
And it's also,
So,
it's
I mean, I showed you the picture of the Naxion bike.
Yeah.
And it's funny because this is like exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
Like it was like
how can
trying
we
to
make
be
it,
the
like, super
Tesla
futuristic?
futuristic bike. Everything down to the fork design was how do we make sure it's like so unique that it's set apart and looks like it's from the future.
Yeah.
And this is like, how do I make it look like it's from 60 years ago?
Well, so
Kind of.
But the other side to that coin is that part of the thinking is also like don't reinvent
and
what doesn't necessarily need reinventing.
Right.
And
motorcycles really haven't changed a whole lot.
And don't think what's not broken. There's an argument to be made that
sure.
Like the Unicycle hasn't replaced the bicycle because like two wheels isn't pretty good. It works to have them in line.
Yeah.
So
that's a pretty good sized brake rotor on there.
Yeah.
What's the reason for not going with regen braking? Is the motor, does it just add too much heat in there, or is it?
It's both like the gains in terms of.
I mean, I know they're like not much.
Yeah.
But
that was kind of the thinking.
And the
okay.
feel, really.
And yeah.
Didn't like the way it felt.
Okay. The freewheel feel was favored by the designers and the
when
team.
it was riding.
When the gains were like minimal.
Okay.
And because then you have to like deal with like temperature management on the regen side.
Well, the one scooter I showed you, they don't do regen, and it's a hub motor, which people always ask, oh, it's a hub motor, you should have regen. I'm like, well, not everybody does it.
Yeah.
But that's why I was just curious what your choice was on that. And I on the Rivet bikes, I actually would prefer that it doesn't regen. It does a little bit when you let off. I would actually prefer it lets me coast.
Yeah.
But then I engage it when I want it, kind of thing. And they do have a trigger to kind of make it a little stronger.
Yeah, but not on the go, right? It's kind of you have to go in the settings.
No, it's like right where this trigger is right here. You just pull that, and it's like
okay.
automatic. That's just regen. It's like pulling an engine brake a little bit.
Okay.
But you can't coast with it ever. Like it always enables a little bit if you let off.
Gotcha.
So.
And you end up stopping before the light, and you gotta like.
I mean, it's pretty light. You kind of have to. Yeah. You have to get a feel for it to know when to stop at a light. It's a little tricky. So it'll be interesting trying this one without that on there. So there's a big diameter motor though.
Yeah.
actually using a proper foot brake.
Have you got more test rides?
No.
But yeah, that's cool how much space you have in there.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. You don't need to pull everything out. Just
I left my stuff in there.
Shove your stuff back in.
That's my daily.
You've been riding this thing every day to and from?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
Well, I can't blame you.
And the thing is, like, it's such a.
Do you mind if you're on camera at all, or do you care, or whatever?
No,
okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
I can cut it out, whatever. It doesn't matter.
No worries.
So.
And like when you just share when you post it wherever. Like
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
No, it's been great. Like as a commuter, it's like a super well-rounded bike. Because you got 80 miles of range, the 70 miles per hour top speed.
Okay.
Makes it like around town. Like if you need to hop on the freeway, you don't think twice about it.
Right. You just can.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's not a touring bike. That's not what it's,
No, but that's...
It has that option to just...
It's okay.
Not just like, all right, I guess like, all right, 10 to the 405 or like, go downtown.
The charger, like how many watts or amps does it charge at? Do you know offhand?
So I know offhand in watts, it pulls 1,300 watts.
Okay.
Because we
well, that gives me a ballpark.
Yeah,
idea.
we charge out of the back of a Ford F-150 Power Boost the other day. It has the battery bank.
Yeah.
And it pulled 1,400 watts.
But then you said you have some sort of like floor thing that you can put both batteries in.
Yeah, there's a dock. There's a dock that allows you to put like both batteries in.
Okay.
And charge. I mean, you still use the same charger. It's just like an accessory that allows you to locate the.
Got it. So you just have a spot to pop them in easily and out.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
Exactly.
Or you just plug the bike in by itself.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. And, So this is our new seat. There's two versions. This one has a bit more padding than the other model.
Feels pretty good.
And it's like this one's like watertight, waterproof.
Okay.
The other one is like hand stitched and looks like a bit fancier.
You
got like the stitches and everything.
Yeah.
But that made it like less like if it was like
built in Britain.
Raining heavily as it does in the UK.
It'll soak in eventually.
And then this bike has the upgraded shocks.
Okay. So these are an option.
K-Tech. These are an option. So stock shocks have preload settings, so you can
kind of adjust your ride height.
Yeah. And these have rebound damping adjustment here.
Oh, okay.
You have this clicker here that lets you adjust it.
So is that the main thing you're getting from these? Is the rebound adjustment?
Yeah. And more tunability on the shocks because you've got more adjustability. The stock ones have like 7 positions. Like this, it's this little like ladder.
Oh, I know what you. And then it kind of like rotates around and it
like
goes up or down.
Yeah, you got 7 notches.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You have like significantly more adjustability.
Yeah, this you got like 6 inches there almost.
Yeah.
So, okay. That's a fat motor cable. So.
Yeah, and it's so 48 volt system.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I didn't even think to ask what voltage it was.
There you go.
That's
where I come in.
So, yeah, I'm like, what questions should I ask about that? Most people are gonna say, why isn't it like 72 volts or something? Because that's more common.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to me, I'm like, it doesn't matter. Everything just has to be designed to work together. Yeah. And then you can use whatever voltage you want. But was there a reaon for going lower voltage?
I'm not sure.
Or is it just kind of
I'm not
how it worked
sure.
out?
I'm not sure. I'd have to like check with the design team on that. I'm like familiar with the 48 volt system. Like I was with Cake before. Cake had 48 volt.
Got it.
Systems. So yeah.
There's a company that was going to make an electric truck called Bollinger Motors.
Yep.
And they were like, everything in the dash was analog and simple. And I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
And then they didn't make the truck. and they went like commercial route for making chassis, and I was so disappointed because I was like, oh, that thing's so cool.
We've had the Bollinger trucks in
here?
motoring club.
Oh, that's sweet.
Multiple times, and some of the I'm friends with a couple of the team members there.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple of them floating around that they built, you know, but kind of dead on that as far as I know.
Yeah. Should we get you riding?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Sounds good. Just push it down?
Yep. Perfect. If you have driver's license and a copy of your insurance card, and then you can just scan them through on the waiver form.
Oh. Well, here's the driver's license. These darn 360 cameras, you can't set them down or else crack the lenses. Done that before. So I'm not familiar with this area at all.
So easy, good little loop that will get you like at speed and going around if you.
Okay. Kickstand up, key on, and then you said hold the brake.
Pull the brakes.
And press it into drive.
Exactly. So mode 1's 45 miles per hour.
Got it. And once I'm there, I can switch back and forth.
And you can put it into S.
So 1S and Eco.
Yep.
So how does Eco compare to 1?
It's way softer.
Okay. So Eco's like really slow.
Yeah.
All right.
Now S is where you're gonna want to be.
Okay.
Because I mean, I'll be curious to have your thoughts. You'll see it's.
Yeah.
It's not like it's super smooth. And that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
So, let's see.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be fun. So. All right. Cool. I'll be back in a little bit.
See you in a bit.
Well, I found it. The Maeving and the faster one, the RM1S. I mean, I gotta say, it looks really good. If I was going by looks alone, and I'm not, but if I was, I personally really like the old racing style, British racing style. If this thing came in a British racing green, or this is definitely retro, like a Golf livery. That would be awesome. But so far, I like the fact that it has some integrated storage and that the charger is big enough to fit in there. It's interesting. If I compare every electric motorcycle I've ridden lately, everyone has taken a completely different approach to charging. So it'll be interesting to see which one wins out. This one has a charging brick, but they have a clear place for you to take it. The Iahora chopper charging brick doesn't have anywhere to put it. You're just on your own figuring that out. He said to turn on to Pico. I wish I was not in LA traffic riding this thing, but is what it is. Oh, there's Pico right there. There we go, now we got some power. Ooh, that foot brake is sensitive. It looks pretty good. Pico. Suspension feels nice. That was a pretty good bump right there. It's not a rocket off the line, but it's still quite quick. And the fact that it goes 70 miles an hour, he said he doesn't have any concerns about just hopping on the freeway. That was a much shorter loop than I expected. But this is a totally different approach to some of the other bikes. Retro, you don't have this big fancy color screen. You basically just have this big analog speedometer and very faintly in the little corner, a charge percentage. I kind of like that. I kind of feel like the analog simplicity of it kind of takes away some of the range anxiety. Some cars and e-bikes and things like to put the battery percentage front and center, but then it's like, that's what's always on your mind. I wish I could give this thing a proper test, actually around some windy roads, actually put it on the dyno. But man, there's some nice touches. I mean, the fact that these side plates that open up to the battery are made out of like a big chunk of aluminum. I get why the thing costs as much as it does. I was thinking it's expensive for the specs, the speed, the performance, and that you're kind of paying for the looks. But it's not just looks, now that I'm on it. Like, it actually is quality. The rear brake is not just rear brake. Like you said, it gives you 60 rear brake, 40 front. Bit of traffic. This is why you have to come to Grass Valley to ride e-bikes and electric motorcycles, where we have open roads that are twisty and windy and fun. Fun. I like it.
Good.
I don't like the LA traffic, but you can't fix that.
It's much better with a motorcycle, though.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a problem that I don't have a solution for.
And yeah, Cal is also an e-bike professional, and Felipe is our first U.S. customer.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So do you have your bike
I do.
already?
Oh, yeah.
And did you go for the RM1S or the RM1?
So
or?
I got the RM1.
Okay.
Now I'm waiting for my S.
Oh, okay.
I already placed the order, paid for it, I'm just waiting.
You got the bug on the first one. That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. I'll show you. Like the bikes are loaded.
I wish I had like some nice windy roads to ride it on, but I know we're downtown LA. That's what I get. Suspension felt really good though. Like you got some nasty bumps around here in certain places, and actually felt really nice. I don't know if it's that good on the stock suspension.
The stock suspension
Is it pretty good?
Is totally decent. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
So-
surprised because we got these guys with the upgraded shocks first, and then I tried the ones with the stock suspension.
Oh, okay.
And it was.
And you're like, oh, these still work pretty good and less money.
Yep.
Okay. And then the brake setup works really good. Like the rear brakes, I don't know if I want to use sensitive as the right word, but it's nice and strong. Like
They're combined.
you said, it was 60 in the back, 40 in front when you do that.
Yeah.
So that worked great. And as soon as I got halfway down there, I switched it to the sport mode.
Yeah.
So I tried that out right away and was like, oh, okay, that's fun. It feels like, like at least on this stretch over here, I had a little bit of a break and I was able to try and get it up to speed a little bit more. And
That's good.
yeah, it was kind of like, I like just seeing that just smoothly zip all the way through, up through the
By
whole
way, Felipe,
range.
Since you're still with your jacket and everything, do you wanna take it
I'll
for a
just
spin?
take it
And then
for
we'll
around
yeah,
the-
grab your helmet and like take it for a loop.
You want me to take my camera off of there? Or you want to leave it on? Have you not tried it yet?
No.
Oh, well,
It was
cool.
the same thing with the first one. Like I literally, bought it unseen. It's like,
That I like the red, white, blue
yeah,
combo
that
they
looks
put on there.
really, really nice.
Yeah.
I still love mine because I love the blue
with the
blue
camel,
and tan, it's
like
still,
looks real, or tan or whatever, like looks really nice. It's like, let's try a different color. Okay, I'll meet you inside like in literally 5 minutes. I'll go around.
Yeah. Well, I'll wait for you here because I gotta let you in. I'm gonna.
Is the brake a change?
Yeah,
from
on the RM1 you've got two bike brakes.
Okay.
On the handlebars, which I actually like having the brakes on the
on
handlebars.
the handlebars. Okay.
I've gone and I've actually switched my bicycles. So I've switched my bikes to a motor setup.
Oh,
with
you're
the
putting
front
on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just kept going back and forth between my bikes and motorcycles.
Right.
And it was annoying. So I was like,
So you gotta think about it for a second.
Yeah. So just switch the bikes.
Yeah.
So if someone steals my bike, they're gonna eat
it. I like the looks of that the best.
Yeah.
Just purely based on aesthetics.
Yeah.
I'd get that one.
Yeah.
Some of the other bikes might have a little more power or different things. Range-wise, they're not all that different right now.
Yeah.
They're all pretty similar.
So you're keeping your one? your
Only if it's on top of. No, damn, like it's. No, the S like a massive difference. And to your point, like it's still very smooth, but like it's just like off the cuff, like if you're getting out of traffic, it's significant difference.
Speedo at 75, like so 17 miles per hour. Going downtown, 10 to the 5 to the marina, like beautiful. It's and you don't have to think twice about it. So that part just makes sense. All this, I kind of like this. All the riding with the RM1, I ended up like enjoying the kind of like games of like momentum riding, and you just got zoom, 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 zoom.
Because that's exactly what you need to think about.
Yeah, but not this.
So to wrap up some of the specs on this bike, top speed, 70 miles an hour. Battery range advertised as 80 miles. Very doable, I think, with what they offer. Charge time is about 4 hours. They say from 20% to 100%. The bike weighs 311 pounds. Now, I am talking about all these specs on the RM1S because that's what I've ridden. It has that really cool classic analog speedometer. Might seem like a strange choice, but I love it. It's using a rear hub motor, bar end mirrors. The peak power is advertised as just over 11,000 watts. And based on my short ride, that feels about right. I wish I had a dyno to put it on. Oh, wait, I do. I just need the bike. But there's good news. I had no idea that Augie, who was seen in this video, was actually going to be in my hometown literally this week as I'm recording this right now. He called, asked if he could stop by our shop. So he came by in person because he was actually dropping off an RM1S to a local customer in my hometown. So I'm hoping that he can put us in touch. If you are that local customer and you're seeing this video, we would love to have you bring the bike in so we can do a dyno run and test it out, or maybe just go on a electric group motorcycle ride. So definitely reach out to us. The battery size is about 5.5 kilowatt hours. It is divided up into those 2 packs you saw in the video. And probably the most important thing you want to know is how much does this thing cost? And it is a little pricey, I think. Like I said, for the specs, it's $8,995, so right at $9,000. But it is a really cool looking motorcycle. You really can't appreciate the carbon fiber pieces, the aluminum pieces that are made on this bike unless you see them in person. It really does look like a top-notch build quality. I was quite impressed with it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. So obviously I love most electric motorcycles. This one was no exception, and I know I said it multiple times. It's a different approach to kind of the same problem. We've got the really high-tech Naxion. We've got the Rivids with their ASI controllers and their high performance and removable batteries on wheels. Then you have the Maeving with its classic retro looks. We're just starting to see this space heat up more and more, and I'm excited to see what's next.